Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and in this video we're going to explore some of the articulations you can use when you're playing the Bach Minuet in G, number 114. By the way, this piece is now attributed to another composer named Christian Petzold. I'm going to be using snippets of the text edition, which doesn't have any slurs or staccati or anything like that written in. What I'm going to offer you are some choices based on common practice of that time period. Before I begin, I'd like to say that in this piece, even if I write a staccato on the note, the staccato is going to be treated more as a detached or a lift versus a short staccato. It's just going to be more like a lift. And then the other thing I want you to keep in mind is that the strong beat in a minuet is beat 1. So if we're looking at measures 1 and 2, I'm going to offer you two articulations. Starting with the right hand, we're going to have a lift, then smooth, and lift. And by the way, when you have those two staccati beats 2 and 3, your hand's going to want to go up and then back down. So consciously think up, up. With that articulation, I like to have the left hand be totally smooth. So be sure to hold your left hand third finger for that. So that's option 1 for measures 1 and 2. The next one is a little bit more detached, maybe a little bit more commonly done. So the only difference in the right hand is the slur is going to end on the D instead of the second G. So we're going to have a lift, down, lift, lift, lift. And so when we add the left hand to that one, instead of having the left hand be all smooth like it was in the first option I showed you, the left hand is just detached on every single one. So it's going to sound like this. So the tricky thing is holding your left hand while the right hand's coming off, because your left hand's going to want to go like this. So you've got to think right hand up, left hand down. So in slow motion, all of those lifts are going to look like this. So right hand lift, left hand hold. Left hand lift, right hand smooth. Now right hand lift, left hand hold. So there's actually a lot of choreography. So that would look like this. It's kind of fun once you get it. Now, moving on, measures 3 and 4. You've got to match whatever you did with 1 and 2. So if you did the slur till beat 2, then you're going to want to do that for this as well for measures 3 and 4. So we can have lift and smooth, lift, lift. Now if you did the detached for all 3 quarter notes in beat 2, then do the same thing here. And then don't have these be smooth, have a gentle lift in between both of those as well. So that would sound like this. But you still have to hold that B right there. Measures 5 to 8. I'm going to give you 2 options to consider. And by the way, you can explore lots of different options. These are just 2 for you to play around with. The first one is going to be lifting up on the quarter note, so on beat 1 with the right hand, and then having the left hand be detached in measure 7 for the quarter notes. So that's way number 1. Here's how that sounds. Lift, 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 right hand smooth, left hand lifting. Or you could play the left hand exactly the same way with these detached, but have the right hand just be smooth that whole entire time. So that would sound like this. Moving on, measures 9 and 10. The only thing that changes is there's a little bit more movement in the left hand. If you choose the option for the right hand that is smooth all the way till beat 2, then I'm going to suggest the left hand stays smooth all the way until that point as well. So it would sound like this. Or if you have the more detached version, then the left hand's going to play more detached for all of those quarter notes, and it will sound like this. So remember, I'll do it in slow motion. So right hand lifts, left hand holds, left hand lifts, and then they lift together. So that's going to sound like this. One more time. And then finally measures 11 and 12, same kind of thing. So if we have the smooth version, then the left hand's going to be entirely smooth for measures 11 and 12. So it's going to sound like this. However, if you do the detached version of this, then the hands will lift together on beat 1, and then the left hand smooth, right hand lifting. So slow motion version of the more detached version is going to look like this. So lift, lift, right hand lifts, left hand smooth. A little more quickly. So measures 13 through 16, you can either have the right hand lift on those quarters, and then the left hand would be more detached in that version. 1, 2, lift, and then more detached like that. So slow motion for that version. So we have lift, right hand down, left hand lift, right hand lift, left hand lift, lift together, right hand smooth. Or you could have right hand smooth the whole time. And left hand smooth the whole time except for measure 15. So that would sound like this. Often at the end of a section, the left hand will be maybe a little bit more detached. So now I'm going to play section 1 through the first way a little more smooth, and then I'll play it second way a little more detached. So here's the more smooth way. Here we go. Touch, touch. Touch, touch. Detached left hand. Touch, touch. So here's the other way, a little more detached. Here we go. Lift, touch, touch. Now they touch together. Lift, left hand lifts, then they go together. So both of those are very beautiful and elegant. See what works for your hand and what you might like. Now moving on to part 2, we will start with measures 17 through 20. I'm going to do this in 2 chunks, so we could do it either with the lift on the quarter notes like we have been doing before. So that would look like this. Or you could have the right hand be totally smooth for all 4 of those measures. Left hand's going to be detached for this either way. So smooth right hand for all 4 bars would sound like this. By having that left hand detached there in measure 19, it gives it a little bit more strength to the music, a little more drive. Something's happening. So the next four measures, measures 21 through 24, you can choose to have all of the right hand quarter notes be detached, or you can choose to slur beats 1 and 2 together. So the hands will match articulation in this case from measures 21 through 24. So I'm going to do the slurred version first, and then I'll do the detached version second. Here's the slurred version. Down, touch, touch, down, up, up, down, up, up. Very elegant. Or they can all be detached and it would sound like this, different flavor. Touch, touch. So both of those sound beautiful. Measures 25 and 26, you can either have a smoother version like this, or a more detached version like this. Either way, make sure that you're being true to the left hand. So it's hold, hold, lift, hold, hold, lift. Now I will tell you, in the smoother version, it's a little bit harder to do that left hand hold because your right hand's going to want to hold too. So you've got to get your right hand off, but the left hand holds. Now for measures 27 and 28, very slight difference. The first way will be the more detached way, so all 3 quarter notes will be detached. Or slur the first 2 notes so you would be matching what you had done with measures 22 and 23. So it would sound like this. So the ending, the right hand, I would just suggest one articulation. However, you could change the left hand articulation. So the right hand is going to be smooth, up, down, up, smooth, up, chord. The left hand can either be all short, or in measures 30 and 31, you can slur along with the right hand. So I'll start with the smoother, more slurred version. So it's going to look like this. Hands move together. Or you could have the more detached left hand version, which would sound like this. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to play like I did for part 1. I'll start with a smoother version, a little more slurs in there, and then I'll repeat with the more detached version. So here's the smoother version first. Down, touch, touch, down, touch, touch. Here's the more detached version of part 2. Lift. Thank you for watching this short video on the articulation for the minuet in G. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope this video will help you explore different choices you can make in articulation. Like I mentioned before, these are just 2 different options for you, but there are many for this piece. It's a beautiful piece and it's worth exploring. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, which is quick piano tips. I also have other videos on piano technique, chord progressions, that sort of thing. So as always, thank you very much for watching.